All right, so this morning we're talking about etiquette. All right, there are rules and there are ways that you are meant to compose yourself and carry out your activities, in certain areas, whether it's in church, school, almost every industry, almost every facet of social interaction has an etiquette. There's a way you should be sat down when you are eating with other people. I don't know how many of you listening right now have visited the north or spent time in the north and visited restaurants in the north. And I'm sure some of our northern brothers who are listening to me right now will probably attest to this. Right now, I visited a few restaurants in Kaduna and in Zaria in particular, but also in Kaduna North, because I stayed in Kaduna North. I also, went around Kaduna South. And there were some restaurants you go to, right? You have your normal tables and you can sit down and, order your meals and whatnot, like everybody is used to, your fast food restaurant. And then there would be a section where people would like to have their meals in a certain type of way, maybe in a traditional way. So you see mats, cushions, and you just come, you sit down on the ground. It's a restaurant. You sit down on the ground, if that's your thing. If you're comfortable with that style. And no, it wasn't for Muslims alone. No, that impression has to be corrected, because there are lots of people who are in Kaduna, who are in Kano and Sokoto, who are not Muslims. They are Christians. They are from those areas, from those villages. They were born and bred there, and that's their culture. They'll sit down and carry out their activities in a very civil manner. Etiquette. They're not loud. They don't shout. They don't do anything. The reason why etiquette is very important is that, first and foremost, it makes real people a priority. You keep your voice down and those kind of things. You carry yourself in a way that is befitting, not just of yourself, but indeed of the group, of the social group that you are in. This morning, we were talking about online etiquette. Online etiquette. The way people should carry themselves and actions when they're communicating via social media. Now, following the very distasteful comments that have been made towards footballers and celebrities recently, it raises the question of users and how considerate they are of their comments and tone over the internet. Now, everybody in Nigeria right now in recent weeks, maybe everybody's a bit of an over-exaggeration, but a lot of people in the past few days, obviously, since the results of Sunday's AFCON final, have been trolling and insulting certain footballers, particularly the Nigerian Super Eagles players, of which right now Alex Iwobi is receiving the full brunt. It is despicable. And it's not just these individuals now, but even the platforms that push that content. I think those individuals are also culpable. The young man has virtually, for all intents and purposes, has virtually disabled his account. But it's not the first. We've seen this happen in the UK, in Europe, where some footballers would just zone off. Some celebrities would just cut off because of the insults they receive. Now, in these places, particularly in England, where we have the EPL, there's been a lot of push, a lot of pressure from the footballers, from associations, from NGOs to task those social media platforms to fish out those individuals, whether it's racial comments, who make comments that are distasteful, who cyberbully, who insult, who denigrate, who troll, who stalk people. There's a lot of pressure on them because, yes, you have your privacy, but your privacy should not impede on my self-health. It should not impede on my own privacy to have my own views, my own life come through. Everybody has a bad day. Everybody. And then I read comments, particularly in Nigerian space. Oh, now useless footballer. How many of you, if they give you felele, not good standard football, felele, how many of you would play as well as some 5 or 6 year olds in primary school today? How many of you would? It is so easy, right, to come and lay insults against people on social media because you won't say, there's a very high chance you won't say those things in front of them. You wouldn't. It's very easy to do so. So this morning, I'm asking, how can proper etiquette be promoted online? How? We had the president recently say, oh, look, maybe it's time to regulate social media. And there was even a very funny video. The president said, he doesn't even go on social media again. No, they said they will insult you. He stopped coming on social media. There is a clear distinction between criticism, whether positive or negative, right, and bullying. And unfortunately, Nigerians, forget all the hype and banter. Some Nigerians have crossed the line. Unfortunately, some of you cross the line every day. You take your keypads. Yes, that person was shirt. That shirt when you a useless boy, sabi dress. You insult the person. Whether or not you have the money to buy the same thing he has, it doesn't matter. I know this is kind of like a repetitive comment, but we need to start talking about how we can promote proper etiquette. If I don't come to your social media space and tell you your father looks like a goat because I don't like the picture, well, why should you do the same to me? Why?
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeria Info FM. Nigeria Info, let's talk.
All right, so the numbers to call 08179230002, 08179230003, 08179230002, 08179230003. At Nigeria Info PH, at Nigeria Info PH is where you'll find us on Facebook and on X. At Nigeria Info PH is where you'll find us on Facebook and on X. All right, WhatsApp and Telegram available on 0809 030 6416, 0809 030 6416. As always, please remember, when you're calling, turn down the volume of your radio set, refrain from making derogatory or defamatory comments, and do not make unsubstantiated or not verified claims. And very importantly, please keep your comments civil. Please, very important that you do so. All right, so our first comment here on WhatsApp is from Fred. Fred says, Jude, it is absolutely disgusting what these people have made Iwobi do. It's not just the fact that he played poorly. There's no doubt about that. But was it enough to want to insult him, to make his whole career look like a joke? Many of these people don't understand the pressures these players go. And yes, it's time that people have to learn how to use this space, how to use social media space in a more constructive manner. All right, Fred. Great. I agree that it's time people start to use the social media space in a more constructive manner. The question is, how? How do we get people to have proper etiquette online? There's even a phrase. It's called net ticket, right? So obviously it is the internet and etiquette coming together to form a word, netiquette, right? Now, there's some certain things that, it is advised that you do when you're online. For example, use respectful language. Even here, when you call us, we tell you, please watch the way you speak. Not because we don't want to encourage free speech, but you have to understand that sometimes when you are speaking, no matter how emotional you are, it is not validation for you to use those comments. Yes, it's good to be emotional. It's good to call, oh, Jude, I'm not happy. Arsenal lost. Nigeria lost. How dare they lose like that? That coach did not try. Yeah, fine. Constructive criticism. But you must do so with respectful languages. Not for you to say, the coach's head is like an elephant that has not eaten for 5 days. That's rude. That's rude. So, use good languages. Then if you're going to share anything online, use discretion. let's be honest. Some of you are talking. There's some things you can send to your friends. I agree. There's some things that I'll send to my friends, or my friends will share to me, particularly my friends from secondary school. They may come off as being maybe vulgar, maybe for adult material, right? I wouldn't share those kind of things with my office group, or I'll go and forward it to my mother, or no, I wouldn't do that. This discretion. That's part of having etiquette. But a lot of people don't seem to get it. So, is it really the control? Is this going to be because okay, maybe we should actually start to control social media? There has to be a way to promote proper etiquette online. That's what we need to do. Ezekiel is on the line. Let's get to speak to Ezekiel this morning. Ezekiel is speaking to us from Choba. Ezekiel, good morning to you, please. Good morning, Ezekiel.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, I think the honor of the social media platform should bring up a measure. Like, for example, Nigeria Info, for instance, you have a call screen, because even when you call, ensure that the language are given. You see, some people still want to slap that thing and you cut them off. I think the owner of the social media platform can come up with a measure where they can screen your rights off before posting it to the general public.
Okay.
Because even when I was reading those comments yesterday, I even got angry. Not only the guy they even attack, they also attack the news. You know, the comments are so rude and it's not good. So if I am suggesting that if the people who have this social media can do something, can screen it, just like Nigerian is doing, it will be helped. Because you can't tell somebody, we are not there. There's no way we can monitor how they will write, what they write or what they put out there. But them who see it before, they can do something. When you read it, if it's not good, you don't post it, you don't send it to the general public. I think that will help. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Ezekiel. That system, I believe, is already in play. I think almost every social media platform has its rules and regulation. And then I think I noticed a while ago, if you're about to send or make a post, and maybe the algorithm feels some of the words used could be seen as derogatory, they may tell you, oh, this doesn't meet our guidelines, right? Maybe more platforms, should do that. They should create. I believe we have this, the know-how to do that, right? That's one way. But beyond that, is there something that can be done? And I'm not saying this generally for everybody in the world. I'm talking about Nigerians. Because let's be honest, during the course of this last tournament, there were a lot of comments that were just downright rude by some Nigerians.
For more talk, news
And if you're just joining us for the first time, my name is Jude Omamegbe, and we are having a conversation about etiquette, online etiquette. That's what we're talking about, not air ticket, etiquette. ETIQETTE, etiquette. That is the way you are meant, the proper way to carry yourself, to act, to function in a group. That's what we're talking about this morning. Now, online in particular, as more interactions these days move from, real time, not real time, to real life to online, okay? More interactions, businesses, interactions, meetings are done online these days. More people are sat down in front of computers, just like I am right now. I have 10 screens in front of me. My eyes are trained to look at all of them intermittently from time to time, monitoring, getting information, giving you the information that you demand. And there is a proper way to do these things. I don't stand up and smash the TV when it doesn't come through. That's not the proper way to do things. So when you're online, when you are texting people, when you have video conferences, when you are speaking to people online, there ought to be a way and manner to do so. The question is, how can that proper manner be promoted, particularly here in Nigeria? Now, this is obviously the fallout of a very disgusting, distasteful, and frighteningly disheartening turn of events from just 40 hours ago, from just Sunday evening. In that time, some Nigerians, not all Nigerians, it has to be said, some Nigerians have trolled, insulted, made a mockery, and of particular concern is that some of the very big pages that you like to flock to read and laugh at their jokes and the videos that they post also made that particular scenario even more aggravated. You can aggravate certain things and you can even amplify it. They were amplified by posting those trolls on their spaces. Everybody can get emotional. Yes, no one is saying that. But it has to be asked, isn't there a way that proper behavior can be promoted? Ladies and gentlemen, this is our conversation this morning.
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeria Info FM. Nigeria Info, let's talk.
With Jude on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
All right, so let's talk. Yes, it is World Radio Day, and later in the day, I'm very sure going to get more stuff about World Radio Day, what it means to us as broadcasters, and also to you as well. And this is one of those things that I think radio has been very successful at doing, and that is creating proper and more far-reaching media or medium for people to get information. I think that's one of the things I really love about radio. We're talking about this right now. A few years ago, a lot of people probably wouldn't have. Well, with the spread of radio and all the radio stations all over, both terrestrial and online, well, we are able to do so. And by the way, we are online at Nigeria Info page for Facebook and on X, and also use the website where you can listen to us from anywhere in the world with www.nigeriainfo.fm. We have Walter standing by, but let's get to hear from Michael in Borokiri. Michael, good morning to you, please.
Good morning, Jude.
Good morning.
Jude, I believe the National Orientation Agency is not doing enough. Cannot at all, because this thing and the NUT, what they call it, NUT now, Nigerian Union of Teachers.
Okay.
Most are not doing well too.
Interesting.
And the entire school system, the private public school owners, whatever, teachers, all of us, we are not doing well, because anyway, if you're supposed to be carrying out public enlightenment, on I don't know on what basis, whether weekly, monthly, or yearly, but they should be doing enough. Jude, another thing, this, like one of your callers said, the owners of this media, this online media platform should do enough. Do you know that if I type the word MEME on Facebook, it will be like that? But you and I know what MEME means. You understand me? But to Facebook,
they may not know. Yeah.
They don't know. Now, if I use all this our slang, like Benin slang or this slang now on Facebook, they don't understand. But you and I know what those slang means. So Facebook should work on their people, their members of staff, so that before they post that thing, it should be translated to the English language where them they would know. This same thing should be on Twitter, should be on all the social media apps, all the websites, whatever it means, so that before it be posted, they will translate it to know the meaning of that particular slang or word. Yes.
All right, thank you very much, Michael. Walter is speaking to us from Rupaku. Walter, good morning to you.
Good morning, my brother.
Good morning, Walter.
Jude, you see, like what you're talking and discussing, to me, sometimes it's a level of education.
Okay, Walter, please, can you step away from your radio or turn it off, please? Thank you.
Yes, I said a level of education.
Yes, please.
And that is why you said it's very, very important to attend the school. You cannot compare me now by my own level, Jude, to your own level. Because I know you have read far more than me. You know? And then another one is home education. Some people were brought up waywardly from their home.
Interesting.
They don't even know how to express themselves before the public. So that is the problem we have. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's a very interesting take here. That yes, it's good that people get to school and they are properly educated, but there's also home education. How do you interact, with those in your immediate space? How well do you do so? What's the etiquette? What are the norms? The nuances that you may have, as it were, taken for granted. It's a very good. That's a very good point there from Walter. Now, confidence is out of provocation, but we ushers should be patient with whoever. That's confidence. All right. This one reads, it is quite disheartening that Iwobi was selected as scapegoat for Nigeria's loss. But asking to regulate social media is to gag the public and ignore the new culture of expression occasioned by the advent of the social media. The internet has its culture. Part of it is what we are experiencing. What we should focus on are allegations and utterances that cross legal lines. Nigeria broke the hearts of many. It's painful. People even died rooting for Eagles. Emmanuel in Uniports. Emmanuel, I'm going to respond to this because there's a very interesting pieces that you shared here, and I think it's something that we can dwell on for a minute. But for now, let's get to talk to Zion, who is speaking to us from GRH. Zion, good morning to you, please.
Yeah, Jude. How are you doing?
Well, very well. Thank you for joining us, please.
It is called social media and not media that is social. Take note of these two words. Some time ago, is it Kofi Patel and I, or Dayo and I that had this conversation? You cannot regulate social media. It is not when the media is social. That is when you can regulate it. We have print media, cartoon media, news media, social media. There is a culture and an advent in this environment. If you are not ready for bullying, you are not ready for the trolls, don't come there.
But that's the thing, you shouldn't be bullied.
It's social.
You shouldn't be bullied.
It's social. They don't care. It is social. See, most of the people you see on social media are people that have crises back home. They are lonely, they are frustrated, they are depressed, they just got heartbroken, everything back home, and they came to social media to express their grievances or to express their success or their happiness. You cannot regulate that environment. The only thing the owners of those platforms have done are to build robots to flag certain comments and words that they know is too extreme. That is why in those platforms you now have things we call emojis. You now have all those signs and stuff, right? It's social media, not when the media is social. So accent that this environment should be regulations, it has never happened anywhere in the world.
Well, the conversation is not about regulation. I just made mention that yes, even governments in the past have asked for regulation, but the question is, how do we then promote proper etiquette online? That's the word. We need to promote proper etiquette, because in the EU, for example, people are complaining about racial slurs, people are complaining about bullying, mental health issues. Some people have even been prosecuted. If you don't know, some people have probably been prosecuted for bullying somebody online. It's even led to the death of people.
Yeah, that is why, like I told you clearly, if the comments or the activities are extreme, that is now a threat or infringement to the enjoyment of the other party, they can sue you. Social media, I will only advise, don't take things there serious. Anything you see there, just take it as a joke. They will call it a cruise. So if you want to take it seriously, you will only end up hurting yourself, getting frustrated, getting depressed, because these people are looking for who they will transfer their depression upon.
But doesn't that then mean that it's even worrisome? Because some people who, in quote, like you said, maybe on cruise, some people may actually be taking their comments serious. As we've seen people who have stalked celebrities, we've seen people who have stalked footballers. They've even gone to rob them in their houses. They do that because they're online.
Don't take it personal. Issues on social media, don't take them personal. If you are the type that accumulate things personally, don't go to the social media.
Okay.
If you are the one that easily get provoked, don't go there. People will provoke you. Even if you are beautiful, they'll provoke you. They will insult you. Are you the most beautiful? Okay, look at this guy, Jalande. This our beautiful actress.
Omotola?
I went like this on social media. They throw this lady out of social media. Let me stop here, Mr. Zion.
Mr. John is on the line. Oh, that was John from Ada George. Let's get to read comments now. Now, I said I wanted to dwell a little bit on Emmanuel from Uniport's comment. Very brilliant comment, has to be said. All right. Now, I said the internet has a culture, which is true. And the beautiful thing about the internet is that it is evolving every single day. Some of the terms and phrases that were used, I'd say about a decade ago, or even maybe 2 decades ago when I started using social media, are no longer there anymore. Those days, it was very normal to get people who would buzz and say, hi, hello, ASL. A lot of people these days don't know what ASL means. But back then, it was a common phrase. ASL meaning age, sex, location. People wanted to know how old you are, where you chatting from, your sex. Am I talking to a man or a woman? These days, we now have video calls for that. So that definitely gets to remove the need to say ASL. It's a culture. It's moving. But you see, this is the line that I think a lot of people actually have a problem with, right? I won't say a problem, but it's a cause for discuss, which is what we're doing this morning. It says what we should focus on are the allegations and utterances that cross legal lines. Now, in recent times in this country, particularly since the hashtag #EndSARS issue till today, a lot of people have taken slander, libel very seriously on social media. So when you come and say, Jude stole 2 bags of bole from Mama Yabo's house. Me, that's libel, that's false accusation. I would now take legal seek legal redress, which in some cases has led to people paying money. But these cases of cyberbullying, like we have in the EU, in the UK, where footballers have been trolled, where people have had comments, their views, even political statements. Let's not go too far. Last year, during the elections, people were trolled, people were bullied, people were insulted. Just before the election, during the campaign season, we saw an increase in the amount of tribalistic sentiments, anti-establishment comments, people who ridiculed, who mocked. You're a goat because you come from this side of Nigeria. You're a fish because you come. All those type of things were terrible. They were emotionally driven. So yes, they may not have crossed legal lines, but they were obviously adversely affecting the mental health of these individuals. Zion's statement that they should not come on social media might not be feasible because you need to work and play, as we see these days, on social media. Anyway, more comments now. Hi, Jude. The social media is a very powerful tool that affords the commoner to even criticize and offer the president advice, and he would see it. We all know that the president, what the president said a while ago about a while back, and that opportunity is probably closed now. We need to improve as a people. In the long run, it is probably going to hurt us the most. We always give the politicians the tools to hurt us. Interesting. Goodness says trolling is very bad and evil, but if you knew that it was your bad day, how did you agree to go on the field to play to such an important competition on that day? Telling your colleague or your coach to leave you out of the game would even be more honorable. Of course, everyone, even international communities, must have noticed. Nigerians, lick your wound and forgive him. Don't rub it in any further so your brother will not get worse. Even one small girl was trolling, saying no be juju to Nigerians. Remember, Super Eagles said that they were bringing the trophy home to honor those who, out of anxiety, did not make it to watch the final. Promises were made to be kept. Goodness. And goodness, promises often are not being made. They can't be fulfilled. Not every promise is going to be fulfilled at that particular time. They didn't win today. That doesn't mean they will not win tomorrow. And yes, goodness, you have bad days. No matter how well you pray, no matter how well you exercise, you could still have a bad day. You may start off your day driving out, oh, I feel very good. Next to somebody from somewhere hits you, your car has an accident, bad day. Nobody comes out and say, today I should have a bad day. Yeah. John, Inala George. John, good morning to you, please.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good morning. Good morning, please.
Sorry. President said Nigeria is broke, yeah?
No, that's not what... John, that's not what we're talking about. That's not what we're talking about. Regulation and
sorry,
yes.
Sorry, that is what I was wanting to talk about.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, John. Okay, now let's get to our social media platform, Facebook and X at Nigeria Info PH. At Nigeria Info PH is where you will find us. At Nigeria Info PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X. All right, I'll get back and read a few comments on WhatsApp before we wrap up this morning, shall we? At Nigeria Info PH, at Nigeria Info PH. Annie Jr. says, I think these platforms need to monitor cyber bullies and expose them to shame them. A lot of people find it hard to bridle their emotions, seeing social media as a space for unrestrained emotions. Jude, I suggest you enlighten the people on some of these tips for etiquette. This same Alex Iwobi scored the goal in October 2017 that took us to the World Cup in Russia in 2018. Pascal Dennis says, most Nigerians lack restraint, no respect for other people's views and opinions. The average Nigerian cannot hold a simple dialogue or conversation. To be fair, Nigerians don't even know when to stop. Sadly, it's not stopping anytime soon. It's not going to happen overnight, but it is the hope of this broadcaster, and obviously on this day that we talk about, Radio World Radio Day, that we can continuously have conversations to meet the demands of the season and the times that we are in. It's a new century. This is the 21st century. We have to find more ingenious, more creative ways to pass good ideals and ideas across the globe, please. Good morning, Jude. Social media is not for the weak, but the rate people bully others is becoming alarming. Not everyone is strong-hearted. Some harsh comments can lead people to death or the person to be looked down on. It is true. It is true. So please, when you are angry, when you are filled with angst, or when you are, emotive about your comments, ask yourself, why, what, when? Why should I say this? What should I say? When should I say this? Simple etiquette. That way, everybody is happy. You have a right to criticize. You can criticize Jude like some of you have been doing for the past 5 years I've been working here. You do so, and you do so constructively. My head hasn't exploded. If you can do that here, why can't you do that on social media, please? My name is Jude. Thank you as always for joining us. News comes up away in just under 6 minutes. We have a break coming up shortly, and then the afternoon crew come through. More football on the way because, yes, the UEFA Champions League returns. It's the round of 16. Will your faves make it through the next round? Well, we will find out later on as the sports gang will be here to give you all the preview, the reviews, and obviously the big talking points and the goals that inevitably will come through today and indeed tomorrow. My name is Jude. Thank you as always for being a part of Hello Port Harcourt. Follow on social media Jude Samuel Omamigbe. That'll be on Facebook and on Instagram. Jude Samuel Omamigbe on Facebook and on Instagram. And don't forget at Nigeria Info PH, at Nigeria Info PH for Facebook and X. Good morning.